Hello, guys. Welcome. Welcome to another episode of Ripster Daily Trade Recaps and Daily Teachings. Hope everybody had a great Tuesday. Another solid day, guys. Actually, it was one of the best days for a lot of traders in the community because we shorted the market in the morning and everybody longed the market in the midday. Today was all about our repeatable setups. My famous Ripster 512 repeatable long setup was just crazy. The dip by the so much news flow, Trump news, tariff news, all that, Ukraine news, everything was just go crazy. Everybody was on working, trading all day long because it was just such a crazy day and a lot to recap. All right, so stick around, learn this midday setups, and you will maybe use it next time to make the profits and money in the market with less risk and more reward. So before we start, let's do a quick introduction to anybody who's new to my YouTube, new to my Twitter, new to my community. All these trade recaps and all these teachings, anything I discuss is either for the trades that we take in the community mostly, or we talk about them in on my Twitter X or on my YouTube. Or I have discussed it with you in past in previous videos. We trade a repeatable system. Thousands of traders across the world use this repeatable system, Ripster EMA Clouds, to trade consistently. They have become consistent traders. You can search Ripster EMA Clouds on Google. You can search on YouTube, Reddit. You will see this system, these indicators being used by thousands of traders. Anyways, we use it. That's the backbone of our trading system. And we use repeatable setups. System is how you trade. Setup is what you trade. We have repeatable setups that we trade every day, and then I try to teach you guys every day in my YouTube recaps. Every morning, me and my team, we have a game plan. You see the game plan in front of you. We have earning plays. We have index stock plays. Index stocks plays are nothing but the market plays. Then we have and earnings. We have earning plays. Then we have upgrades, downgrades. We also have low floors. We have IPOs, all that. We have a plan in the pre-market planning. I do a live pre-market planning on all those names so that we are ready to trade during the day and what to trade so that we are not lost. In addition to that, I also show many other playlists. I share Ripster day 2, day 3 repeatable strategy setups. These are the stocks that can move on the day 2, day 3s. Today, MSTR was a big winner. My top day 2, day 3 setup, that was a big winner on this setup today as well. In addition to that, we share crypto levels, coin MSTR, which were huge trades today in the community. In addition, we also share future levels. So if anybody who trades future, my guidance is on futures, NASDAQ futures, S&P futures, which we trade with SPY and QQQ. So you'll see that recap and we discuss. We provide all these levels, so you can use these levels with Ripster EMA Clouds to make your trades consistently whenever a setup shows up. In our community, we have 3-4 option scanners. We have stock scanners. We have a bunch of breaking news alerts. We have voice alerts. I'm on voice most earlier, not most of the day. I'm in the voice usually first few hours of the market open, but I'm screen sharing the whole day. And we guiding the traders through the community on the trades and setups and opportunities. We have thousands of traders in the community sharing trade ideas all day with each other, finding the opportunity to make money consistently in the market, actively trading, losing small, winning big. That's our motto. That's what we do every day, day in, day out. So I'm going to go through, show you my timestamp guidance on a lot of the trades we do. We are a very different community than anybody else. We have one of the biggest trading communities focused on education and building self-confidence rather than giving you blind alerts. Our traders have found success, consistently successful, because they surrender to the system. They are responsible for their own trades. But so that's what we're going to show you. That's why I'll show you today's trades and how today trades people were making great profits in the community. Anyways, that's enough introduction. Let's start with the first play of the day. All right. So let's start with a recap of the SPY, QQQ, NASDAQ, ES futures, your market index trading. So coming into today, QQQ was down quite well, and SPY as well was, pretty down. Was holding barely a support. But important is, before we recap, the thing that we need to note is VIX. So I had provided this chart pattern to traders a few days back in the community, but setting up a nice breakout, this bottom call breakout setup. So this morning when we came in, we were ready for the markets. Our plan was pretty simple. As you know, as if you've seen yesterday's recap, yesterday we came in a little bullish bias, but today we were a little cautious. So the plan on SPY was clear, SPY and IWM. Watch VIX support bounces. For market to bounce, VIX needs to break 2250. More selling over 25. So the plan was clear. You see how I stressed upon these two levels, 2250, and then I'm talking about these levels, 25. You'll see today during the course of this recap how these two levels, were at end of the day reason for us making money in the market today and being safe in the market and not going on the other side. So that was the pre-market planning. Let's see what the market did intraday. Let's open some charts here. Let's keep the VIX chart on this side. Let's open SPY here. We can open IWM if we want to. We can take a look at IWM, and then we can also look at NASDAQ futures, which is the same thing. Futures for the QQQs, right? So we can take a look at all that, what was happening in the market, and we will have a general idea. Let's go to my guidance here. Let's go start with the QQQ guidance here. Let's look here. So SPY QQQ bearish to start the day. Why was that? Because right in the morning, you see right here, the VIX was pushing higher. So VIX was pushing higher and SPY was trying to bearish the day. That's why I told everybody to short the ES futures and SPY right out of the gate. So right out of the gate, I told everybody to short the ES futures because of this very reason. And QQQ puts, SPY was doing good, but QQQ puts try to bounce. And I told everybody to close the QQQ puts. When the candle was doing this, if you remember, this, and it was not breaking the pre-market lows, I was a little cautious because I didn't want to get trapped in a bullish move. So we closed it. But then when it broke again, we added the puts again. So I said re-add. So you can re-add those puts, re-add QQQs versus highs. So you re-add those shorts versus highs. So trading those puts on SPY, or you short ES futures, short NASDAQ futures, re-add them. Once we break these lows, we started to flush. 3 candles flush right down from 492s all the way to that 488. So that was a $4 move. So much range in the market today. QQQ is trading 16 points. That's a lot of range to make money both sides, right? So that's why we were short. So you can see the timestamp guidance. VIX at the same time, VIX was pushing towards 25. When VIX pushed towards over 25, we had a big flush, and then VIX started to come back, try to break 25. That's like a capitulation happening here, some kind of capitulation, and then bounce. Then ultimately, I told everyone that for the rest of the day, you have to watch VIX. This is what I told everyone. So I told everyone that 25 is the key, right? Even in the morning, when did I say that? I told them in the morning, 25 is the key here, right? The bulls were trapped. In the morning, bulls were trapped. Bulls were trapped in the morning when we kind of flushed there. Bulls were trapped. And then after that, we were trading this VIX strategy, right? So you can see that my timestamp guidance, short, flush the QQQs, take it down. And let me show you how we did those QQQ puts went really nicely. If you were trading QQQ, ES futures gave a nice trade. You're probably risking $500 and you are making really nice trade there. Let's take a look here on the QQQ lotos, and you need to understand when the market bounces, those loto goes to zero. But if you look here at, let's look at this 592s, in the morning what they did. So let's go back here. Let's take a look on the 592s. So 592s in the morning went from $2, $2.40 to $5, almost 100% trade on those 592s. right? So of course, they have to go down because they're lottos and the SPY curl. We'll talk about the curls. But the point is we were making a lot of profits, a lot of money in the morning on this repeatable strategy. The VIX setup that I'm sharing right here. So you can see all the timestamp guidance and you see the breakdown. This confirms, and you take your profits, of course, right? And let's go back. And then I shared with how do you know that market is going to call? You have to find the intraday market reversals. You have to watch for higher lows, higher highs, 5, 10, 12 EMA is being reclaimed, VIX weakness, US dollar weakness, yields weakness, big F7, Apple, Microsoft, the sectors. So study this, screenshot it. I should have it there. So, that's how you have to watch for the curls. And VIX was holding 25. Okay, let's look here. So VIX was holding 25 and we were getting the rejection. So we got the first rejection. That's why we got the fails. First rejection, we got the fail. We short here, you cover here, you watch it. But then came a big swipe up. And then let's see what happened. And then the next time VIX broke 25, we called on a SPY right here. And we called on QQQs right here. Not only that, even the IWM short, which was on our game plan in the morning, that called as well. So this was our long alert. This was our long alerts that, let's see here, I sent that long alert was right here. You see that? So had that long alert, let's look at here. We were curling initial rejects. Let's look here. Where was QQQ? SPY was much better calls. SPY, let's look here. SPY. So you can see that I've been sending these alerts right here. SPY 512, SPY 512. This is the long on SPY. This is the long on IWM. This is the long on ES futures. And this is when VIX is breaking 25. You just have to long here your stops under this previous, you long here your stops previous candles. If ES futures, you long on this, if you long this candle, your stops are here. And so if you're long here, then your stops, if you long this candle, your stops are this candle. If you long this candle, your stops are this candle. You long this candle, your stops are right here. The previous resistance right here, right? So that's how you play the calls. And you see this breaking down that confirmed your longs. This gives you high probability 512 midday call longs, right? So that's the high probability midday SPY long calls. We already made the short money, right? That's fine. But then came the curl longs, and that's how we long NVDA, Tesla, Meta, MSTR, coin, which I'm going to cover as well separately. And you can see that all of them paid us really well. And on the long side, if you see that when the curl came on QQQ, when I sent the alerts on the longs, right here, when the VIX, second time the VIX broke 20, rejected this, this 25 when broke. So that was the first time we started the curls right here, this one and this one, you can see that. And then, then we bounced and make another bear flag. I sent out the alert here as well. And you can see the same QQQ. And this time you can take the reverse of those QQQ 492 calls. You were earlier in 492 puts. And you can see those 492 calls. If you're just trading the options, you don't have to trade the options. Trader often ask me, oh, you only trade. No, we don't trade options. Trading is basically it's about shares. Then you can trade whatever you want. You can trade leverage ETF longs, you can trade NASDAQ futures long, you can trade the shares of QQQ, TQQQ, doesn't really matter, right? Everything works. But this example of for the option traders, that one went later, from $2 all the way to $10, $3 to $10, those 292 calls. So you were trading you were trading with $1,000, and they went back higher up towards the $3,000. If you're trading three grand, you made $9,000. That's how what kind of the trade setups are these, because these are setups. We are not trading blindly. Oh, buy, just buy. We are not buying here. We are not buying here. We are not buying here. We buy here. We are not buying here. We are not buying here. We buy here. The traders without a system, they are all buying. Oh, they are buying here. They are getting slaughtered, and they might have got lucky with the bounce, but they have no system. We were short here. short here, and we were long here. Just I'm showing you the timestamp guidance. Not only that, we had a 20 times trade on SPX. If I want to show you that, let me see if I can show you that. The trade that Tape guided everybody in the community on SPX, that was a 20 times trade because his calls literally went from 150. So if you look here, let's see, not sync here. Let's look at the SPX trade 155s. If you want to look at that, those longs that he had, I mean, literally the SPX, it's very risky. It's not for everyone, but if you risk 100% and you're making 1000%, that's a beautiful trade, right? That's a beautiful trade. If you're long, let's say you were long 5850s. Let's look at 5850 lottos. So let's look at 5850 lottos here on the call. What did they do? So the 5850 lottos, went from $1.50 to $20 right here. So we bought at $1.55. Tape was guiding everyone, and those SPX lottos went from 155 all the way to $20, 155 entry, right? You're risking $100. Let's say you're risking $1,000, $1,500. You bought ton contract. Those $1,500 become $6,000. You take some off, then you let them go. Take some off. You literally make 8-9 grand risking $1,500. Depending, you can risk those $1,500 as an 100%. Right, a smaller account would be able to risk $150 or maybe risking $200, $300 to make $1,000, $1,500. So that's kind of risk reward you need to do. These go to zero eventually. If you can see that it went to 0 cents because market tanked at end of the day. So that was our long trade on the market, and we can talk about the rejection. And you see that we pushed, and then we hit the Ripster MTF Clouds. That's when I told everybody to exit. That's our 512 system. I told everybody to close. If you look at my guidance, a lot of this was voice guidance. I can't really show you. So I said, cut everything when we break 512. You saved a lot of money. You could make another short here on SPX puts or whatever, and you can make some. And you can also see that VIX is bouncing from MTF Clouds. So the key here, what I'm showing you guys, the day like today, you need to focus on your entries. So where was your entries? If you buy in middle of nowhere, you get slaughtered. Your entry was here, short, then your long entry was here. There was no long entry, it was here on QQQs. Your short entry was here. You saw my guidance there, live stamped short on QQQ SPY, and your long was right here. And same thing for SPY. VIX bouncing there, and you were short end of the day. So basically, there was 3 trades: short, long, short, short, long, short. To hit the target, you hold as long as 512 clouds hold. So guys, that's how the traders in the community. So that's how traders are making the so much in the community. You can see Knoxbury had the second best day of his year. Trader Jared had one of his 5 biggest day of the year. Like I told you yesterday, traders were having 5-figure days, right? So this is the way, guys. This is the way. Either you're trading options, leverage ETFs, even if you are trading QQQ, right? Leverage ETF long, you can buy 1,000 shares, $67, sell them at $71. You're risking $500, but you can make 3 grand just on that one trade. It's not always about the options. Don't confuse that. Anyways, that was a long story short. Really went in depth to the strategy or trying to short and long both. Now let's talk about the plays which worked out with the market. So since I already talked about the market long, so I'm going to go quick into the Tesla trades we had in the community today. So Tesla, I was pretty cautious in the morning, and I told everybody Tesla is a short. This is a 512 short on Tesla right here. 512 short right here. Right here, you're the short. Tesla is a 512 short. And our target was 260. We hit like 262s. There's a lot of option flow coming in, ghost board. And when the market started to curl, I told everybody, get out of the shorts right here. You can see that. This is our long. And the first stop I gave was 265. Okay, so 260. I gave the stop wherever you had, 267. I don't care. You had 266. Your stops are 265. I think I was at 266, 50 or 60. I was risking like $1.50 or $2 there. But anyways, and then you see this push. You see this push, little flag, that's okay. Some traders were panicking, but we didn't panic. I told them to give the room to 266. Use the 266 stops because VIX was, I saw the market was bouncing. We know we are watching like 6 tickers along the way, right? We know that. And then we moved our stops up. Tesla trade started to move on. We pushed our stops up. We keep moving our stops up. Finally hit our 3450 target. You can see my 270 stop. Continuous guidance on Tesla. Beautiful morning short and beautiful long as well. You know, if you're an option trader, you can trade option trader. If you're a small account trader, you can trade TSLA. You can easily risk 20 cents and you can make $2, 30 cents, $2. I mean, it's insane, right? So many opportunities in market, and that's why we were 74% people, only 13% people read in the community today, because of this very reason. This is why the traders are finding success, because literally nobody has this education, the system that I provide you, the why you see so much on ripstereducation.com. You go there, you see people have changed life with my education. Literally, even before I had a community, right? I've been helping, still I help people 99% free. So you just have to follow the system. You just have to learn the life-changing system. So anyways, let's look at the Tesla calls. Let's see how the Tesla lotos worked during the day. So we had that move. You can look at Tesla 270 calls when we had the bounce. Let's look there and see how they went up high. So the Tesla calls, let's see here. So on that call, when we saw that call happening, the Tesla calls went from the $8 all the way to $16. So that was 100% on the 270 calls as well. So those were the kinds of trade, guys. That was a Tesla trade. Let's go to the next one. All right. So NVIDIA was another trade. NVIDIA was very cautious in the morning because it was a bull trap, right? This was a bull trap. I told everybody be a little bit cautious. Although there was a lot of flow coming in this morning. Let's go to the pre-market planning here. Day 3 still super heavy, only long 512s. There's a lot of flow. People try to long it. Market was heavy, as you saw that. So that was not time to long it. There's a bull trap. Then they stopped out all the bulls, did not break the pre-market lows, and then started to make this downtrend line. You know, if I show you like this, it'll be more clear. You can see that downtrend line. And then NVIDIA became a long right here when it pushed there. I told everyone at 10:45, there's no short. You could long it right at that time as well. But when it pushed a little higher, I told everybody calls long versus 112. So that was my long for NVIDIA for the traders. And you could see the same thing with the market. I'm not going to spend too much time. As it started to push up, we move stops up. You have your 512s. You have no reason to cut. Hold. MTF target met. This is the 512 break. This is where you exit and you leave the rest of it alone. So that's how you profit, guys. That's how that's how 76% of the traders in the community were green today, right? So anyway, so that was another winner here for us on NVIDIA. Let's look at Meta here, guys. Let's go to the Meta trades. So Meta, let's look at Meta. And it's not about that, hey, Rip is always right. You know, we have losers too. But the point is our system is so good. You just need to surrender to the system. You know, there's a reason so many traders are successful in the community, and there's no BS, no hindsight. We are not just hindsight, or no, we do not like show PNLs, all that BS, right? We just teach the system, right? And I spend time every day to teach you the system. So anyways, so Meta was a call. Long stops were 267. It pushed higher from 267 to 630 entry. When it pulled back, we closed it, and then it reclaimed, and that set back long again at 632s. And from that 632s, it went on to run to 648. So you can see that again, Ripster Cloud 512 longs. You can master this setup. Next time there's a call long, you can be a very profitable trader. Let's go to the next one. All right, so now we're going to talk about MSTR. We're going to talk about coin, and then we're going to talk about hood. We're going to talk about all these crypto stocks, which were our day 2, day 3 setups. I want to clearly for you guys to watch the crypto stocks. What were the resistance pivots? 201, MSTR 246, 250, you know, and I want to see that we had our hood as well on our day 2 setup. You can see that 45, 50, 46. They were top day 2s, right? MSTR hood were top day 2s. There's no doubt about it. Same thing, hood. We were selling off. You know where it was along, right? Look at MSTR. MSTR was relatively strong. MSTR never broke the pre-market lows. So that was even a better setup than anything else. And the sailor was tweeting. You need to know who's tweeting, who's talking. That's why we have all those tools in the community. So now you see that this is their long here, and then this comes MTF breakout. I was a little late on that, but I did tell people that solid curl MTF breakout, and you saw that MTF breakout, and then I gave the target of 285, 290, 300, right? So that was the target on MSTR. So that was a beautiful, beautiful trade on MSTR, and Sailor was pumping, so that was good. So all the targets I gave, we met it, right? 282 was the first target. Then we met 285. That was a voice target. There's no reason to cut. Once MTF breaking, you hold it, hold it, hold it. And you can trade MSTU, and you can trade MSTU long. You can see this is your downtrend. So using a downtrend line for added conviction, you're watching the market for the bounce. And then you're using the 512 clouds, and you're using the Ripster MTF clouds for the long side trades, right? So we were short on it when time was short. We were short, but today it was all about long, and we were long. We are not long by fluke. We are long with the system. And you see how clean the MSTR trade was, right? So same thing was on coin. Coin though was bearish, but the long on the coin was right here. Your stops right here, 200. Your stops under at 197. You're risking $2.50 on coin, and you're trying to make first is $10 on coin. That's your MTF clouds. That's a nice 1:4 reward. Even if you 100 shares, you made $1,000, and you're risking $200. That's pretty good trade. Right, and also you need to remember MSTR has a catalyst. Trump is pumping it. Friday has a summit, crypto summit, where Sailor is going to go as well. So all this, this was made MSTR coinhood beautiful, beautiful day two winners for us guys. Midday calls, beautiful, beautiful trade. If you were ready today, just amazing. All right, so now we're going to talk about OKTA. So I want to spend a little time on OKTA. I know today is going to be a little long call, but the thing is, the OKTA was a beautiful, beautiful trade today in the community. I have talked about this strategy that strategy that we use. 100 psychological level, right? So important. You can see that OKTA, the plan was simple. The earnings, the guidance in the pre-market was trade versus 100, long over 34.50, gap and crap under it. So as soon as the market opened, I was watching OKTA, was no direction, but then it swiped over 512. That's when I said turned long versus 100. Take a long, your stops at 100, was first target was 104. OKTA gave us $4 per share there, and then when it broke 512, there was a time to get out, but then it gave another long setup. End of the day, this was a downtrend line, 34.50 setup, and then it broken out continuously. Why was that? The reason was OKTA is whenever something breaks 100, guys, it's a big breakout. And you can draw your line here on the charts, on the daily charts, and you will see that how the 100 breakout on OKTA is panning out. Then it goes to the next resistance. This was why my 104 was my target. You can clearly see that. Then it has a 115 resistance. So it's high watch for the coming days. So now, but I want to touch base on this 100 psychological strategy, right? So it's such a big strategy, that simple strategy I have been teaching from years. So PLTR was the same strategy. From 100, we were short on 100. We made a bunch of profits, money there. Right? Then 100, this was PLTR. We were long from 100. You can see from 100, it went on to run. And then there's a Roku, which was 100 long, but it did not work. But then you short under 100, and it went on to fade and provide a great opportunity to the downside. And then when PLTR was running over the 100, we were long with the 100 concept. You can see that power of 100. I have done previous short YouTube videos. You can watch it. Right? And then we had Starbucks. This was a Starbucks long versus 100. Same thing as OKTA today. And you can see that as soon as breaks 100, it's going to go higher. Something breaks 100 on good news and holds 100, you can use it to trade that. This was Baba. Baba was initially short, but when it pushed over the 100, there was a long trade on Baba on 100, and Baba on the swing trade continued to run. And then this was Micron, same thing, 100, 100, 100, 100 long. Beautiful winner that was in the community and also shared live on the Twitter. This was the DocuSign 100 concept, 100 psych long. You can see the timestamp guidance. It ran for us $7, $8, $10. Huge profitable day. Simple strategy, guys. Simple strategy. 100 psychological level, and this was Marvel. That was 100 breakout that day, gapped up. That was high. It was a high confidence because it was over 100, and it continued to run for it. And there's many, because there are many psychological numbers, 10, 50, 100, 500, but 100 is a big level to trade with. Thousands of traders have used my strategy to change their life, guys. Just this simple 100 strategy. You can see this PDD. It was probably last year was from 100. You wait for the best setup, and some setups will not work, but who cares? You stop out or you short. This was a short versus 100, and you can see the how it faded down. Kava was a long versus 100. Where Kava ran to swing trade. I said, if breaks 100, then it will long it, and Kava went on to run like crazy. This was Myrna, 100 short, $6 fade. There's thousands of examples, hundreds of examples on my my Twitter and X. This was a swing short on Disney versus 100, right? This was 100 psychology break on TTD, right? This was a PN. This was 300 psych, same concept, right? So all these teachings, guys, all this, it's a simple strategy. Importance of 100. You need to learn that. It's very important, right? So this is a strategy that you can make living on, just and if you remember, there was last time OKTA failed 100 and we shorted it, right? We failed 100 and we shorted it, and you can see that day on the OKTA short, went on from the short. I made a nice little from 97 short. I was up like 7%, right? So you can see that how beautiful it was. So that's a great example of 100 psychological short. Funny, right? We were long on OKTA and this was a short on OKTA. So you see the power of this simple strategy, guys. You can trade this all your life. And look at this guy. He made 4 year worth of our community, $4,000 on this trade. So that was nice. All right, so next one we're going to look at is ASTS. So let's look at ASTS. What was ASTS doing? So ASTS was a day 2, and it's also an earning play. Let's look at ASTS. Lot of MTF, British to neutral. But as soon as ASTS pushes over the MTF, and you can see that the levels I gave in the day 2, 25, 25, 50, it becomes a long. 512 and MTF long pushes, MTF pullback, long again on MTFs, MTF 1, MTF 2, MTF 3, all day long ASTS. I was not too much on top of it, but the traders in the community literally killed it, right? But you can see that MTF long alert from me as well, and the pullbacks to MTF and continue to push to 31. It was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful winner, ASTS, all day long for the community. All right, so next one we're going to take a look at is Target. Let's look at Target. So what was Target doing today? So Target today was short in the morning. So I told everybody to watch the pops to short Target. And Target short was doing pretty good, popping, dropping, popping, dropping. It was the game plan right here on Target. Let's see, bearish buys to short the pop. 118.50 was resistance, 115.40 was support. So you short the pop, short this pop, and you get nice flush to 112s. But then it started to hold higher lows, and you can see that. A little head and shoulder, maybe you can call it. I don't know, but the point is there's a downtrend line, and this is when I told everybody that 512 curls right here, and you have to get out the long, and when it does the 512 curls over here or right here, and then you just have to long it and then it continues. It's the same thing with the market, just like all those other calls. But that was a beautiful trade. Let's go to the next. SC was actually a choppy today. It was kind of initially a gap and grab, it looked like the curl, but the curl doesn't work, and then it flushed, so we took a stop loss here on this 512 and 3450 break. Then curl later in the day. It was a choppy mess, so it was a loser today there. All right, so let's look at GM, right? So GM was a short in the morning. That was on our news plan. You can see that bearish bias on both car companies, GM and Ford. You short it right out of the gate, but 10 a.m. it bounces. You try to short it again. This is the call where you get out, and then it becomes a long. It was just the morning trade. After that, there was no short. Remember, when there's more room between the price and the 512s, it's going to pull back. Then you have more. If you add here, you have more risk. So you need to add closer to the clouds. So let's look at the other earning play, a growth company, ONON. ONON was also a little choppy. It was short under 50, but it didn't really break too much. It only flushed like $1 and came right back. So you just, get out of that break even and didn't really give anything today.